Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm gamesplaining Grifters. Grifters is a 2 to 4 player game by Indie Cards and Boards. The other games that buy Indie Cards and Boards come in similar size box. They used to come in a similar size box. They're gradually getting bigger and bigger and bigger and coming up to the main size games or full-fledged size games, but it's not a large box to start with. The game itself, it's listed as taking only half an hour to play. I disagree with that to some extent, simply because every time I've played the game I've found that the players, they're thinking a lot, and there's a lot of thinking that can go into this game. So, you know, it's these times that are listed as game times or play times, they're not necessarily right, but when you're looking at this person's thinking, I think if you're playing, I finish my turn, next person, it goes really quickly or can go really quickly. I like this game. It's different enough from any other game that I've got for it to have a treasured place in this collection. The thing with this game is that you're using your cards for one of two purposes. Either you're combining the cards with other cards to make a combination of colour. If you get the right combinations, you can use that combination to send them on a big job, which will give them this card, which will then give you some extra credits. Or you can use just the single cards to use the ability of that card. They then go down into your tableau, and each turn you push them one further, and then off. The ones that are off come back to your hand, but after you've played. So you end up with 3 things plus the one you're playing at the moment, I guess is the best way to say it, that you can't use. Once you pull that pile back in, or the single card back into your hand, you then get to use again on your next turn around. There's been some combinations that affect other players, and there's this manipulation that I've just played this game with sometimes aiming for the quick combinations where bang, okay, that's happened. Other times going, this will do that. When I take that card and put that down, that'll take that one over there and switch out this and that and that. And there's actually this real puzzle to what's actually going to end up happening. And sometimes I found that more often than not, people have played that pattern or some very large pattern simply to see what happens with it. Of course, they're not convinced that anything will happen with it, and quite often, not much does. They end up just getting a movement of cards, really, but it's kind of a fun puzzle at the same time. I think that Grifters is a really good addition to your collection, especially if you're someone who has liked the previous games from Indie Boards and Cards in their early days. So things like Coup, things like The Resistance, then go on to the Grifters, and there's a nice transition. There's a nice transition of the mechanic that goes into the game that makes up that game that works really nicely. This one only plays to 4 players. Obviously, Coup and Resistance go to quite a lot larger and are different games entirely, but they still feel like they're from the same world or from the same place, and they're supposed to be, and that's a really good thing. They've won with this. I found that some of the wordings on cards or things like that can be a little bit questionable with the way they work, and I've had cards played wrong before, and everyone at the table has allowed them to be played wrong because we don't have the correct way. That's been then looked up and found for, this is what the actual answer is. So I understand that there's a expansion coming for this one, and look, I think that would be a really good thing to add a little bit more of playability into the game, in terms of, I've got this base game and it plays quite nicely, but once I've played it a few times, I tend to have played it. So I've played this maybe 6 times, and I've played it. I have played this and played it, and it's starting to feel the same. So having an expansion on that will probably be a really good thing to add onto my collection, to make this a bit more of an interesting game to me, because I have kind of played it out. I haven't won every time I've played it. I haven't won the last couple of times I've played it. Actually, there's been someone else at the table who's winning, but I also am in that position where people will tend to pick on me simply because I'm the guy who knows the games. So, and that's okay. That's passable. I'll allow it. It doesn't worry me if I win or if I don't win. But the picking on that one person who knows the game is going to guarantee making them lose, and that's That's fine. As the person who owns the game, it's fine. But it also means that one of the other three is going to win. It's probably not the person who's doing the picking. And I found that with this game, with any other game, that the picking isn't necessarily going to win you the game. In fact, it usually will end up in you not winning the game, simply because you're spending your time doing something to drag someone else down rather than to build yourself up. If you can find those combinations in your cards that will help you build yourself up, then you'll do great. You'll do much, much better than the other way around. So go on and watch my videos, see what you think of it, see what you think of the rules, and get a good feel of the game. If you have any games that you'd like to be gamesplaying, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to see what games I've been playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.